When you do a HITRUST assessment or certification, the client generally is using AWS, or they're using Microsoft, or they're using Azure, or they're using Google. And if they use any of those services, then those services have security around them. The shared inheritance means we can have a client inherit some of those security controls for their assessment, so they don't have to do as much work to prove that they're secure for that environment. The fact that it's shared means that the client has responsibility and the cloud has responsibility. And as assessors, we have to understand how those two work to make sure they get enough scoring to pass the certification.
That's going to save money, that's going to save a tremendous amount of time. If done correctly and leveraging my CSF tools efficiently, we can take hugely manual efforts and minimize that in minutes using things such as the offline assessment.
The trick is to really understand what you're using in the cloud, what you're not using in the cloud, and to make sure that you've got the right mix of the score is what you expect it to be.
We have requirements as external assessors that we have to follow, and then after our QA, when we submit, HITRUST does several rounds of QA. So if there is a discrepancy somewhere, it's going to get flagged.
We've run into some problems this year because of the changes that HITRUST has had, the changes the cloud providers have had. Just because you get that inheritance and it gets pulled into your MyCSF doesn't mean that it's going to give you the correct score if you don't know what the other part of that percentage that's being applied and you aren't looking fully at what you're inheriting. So we want to make sure other companies, when they're doing assessments, that they go, okay, we need to think about this a little bit more closely. We got the 99.4% of companies that are HITRUST certified have not been breached. That's a pretty significant number. And it's all because of this process. It's because of what we do, how we work, how we understand what HITRUST is doing, how we understand their process. So it's a combination of, we all know the processes and they work with us real closely. So that's significant help as well.